The most secret knowledge, a science which outdates history, is the science of control over people, governments, and civilizations. The foundation of this ultimate discipline is the control of wealth. Through the control of wealth comes the control of public information and the necessities of life. Through the control of news media comes thought control. Through the control of basic necessities comes direct physical control of people. This timeline illustrates how the government usurped the original Constitution with executive orders and deceptive amendments, establishing confusion. This could only happen under martial rule or law, which we've been under since 1861. On April 24, 1863, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln issued General Orders Number 100, Instructions for the Government of the Armies of the United States in the Field, commonly known as the Liber Code, after its main author, Francis Franz Liber. The Liber Code set out rules of conduct during hostilities for Union soldiers throughout the U.S. Civil War. Even today, it remains the basis of most regulations of law, of war for the United States, and is referred to in the foreword to the Department of Defense Laws of War Manual. The Liber Code inspired other countries to adopt similar rules for their military, and it was used as a template for international efforts in the late 19th century to codify the laws and customs of war. Executive Order 100 is missing from the archives. You are welcome to try and find it.
History repeating. Lincoln sworn in, South walked out, 1861. If the tense beginning of 2021 has you worried that history is repeating itself, you're not alone. Experts on political history say an apt parallel to the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol can be found 160 years ago when the 7 southern states seceded, walked out from the United States between December 1860 and February 1861. Essentially, Lincoln was sworn in and the South walked out. De jure common law government offices went unfilled, unelected, and unseated. The United States has been under martial law rule ever since. Bet you guys didn't know that. The District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871 is an act of Congress that repealed the individual charters of the cities of Washington and Georgetown and established a new territorial government for the whole District of Columbia. Enacted by the 41st United States Congress, long title, an act to provide a government for the District of Columbia, nicknames District of Columbia or DC Organic Act of 1871, Statutes at Large 16 Statute Fort 19, the Liber Code. 1863, the Liber Code. In 2015, the United States Department of Defense published its Law of War Manual. It was updated and revised in May 2016. The manual explicitly refers to the Liber Code, and the Liber Code's influence on the Law of War Manual is apparent throughout. The Liber Code defended the lawfulness of the emancipation under the laws of war and insisted that those same laws prohibited discrimination on the basis of color among combatants. This essentially enslaved everyone to abide by codes, statutes, rules, regulations, ordinances, and zoning. The 13th Amendment. What was martial law of 1863? On September 15, 1863, President Lincoln imposed congressionally authorized martial law. The authorizing act allowed the president to suspend habeas corpus throughout the entire United States, which he had already done under his own authority on April 27, 1861.